starts. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome back to everybody's favorite fantasy football podcast. It is hashtag I'm with Bozo. I'm your host, Grant Fussell. As always, joined with me tonight is two of the four people that are playing in the playoffs tonight because we are doing the first round playoff extravaganza episode tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I am excited because I did say they're two of the four people. The third person, unfortunately, cannot make it. That means there's one other person that's playing this weekend, and that's right, it's ya boy. We made it here, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, accompanied with me is none other than Mr. KG in the Kitchen, Kevin Gordon, and Mr. Blake Smith. Boys, how we doing?
Doing good, man.
Blake,
Loving the playoffs. Let's go.
Yeah, same.
Got playoff fever finally for the first time.
Do we still have a special guest, Blake, or are we too late?
Ooh, not yet.
Too late?
Not anymore. There might
Not
be
anymore. I missed them. Missed the window. Yeah, the window of opportunity slowly closed.
There's always next week, Blake. There's always next week.
Yep. Hey,
there will
true
be.
That.
That's true.
Oh.
True that. So, boys, I mean, obviously we're friends before we're foes in the fantasy league. Blake, a lot going on recently, obviously.
Tons, man. Tons. Just had my baby boy 3 days ago.
Congrats.
12/12/22.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well,
yes,
hey,
sir.
you can't forget that birthday. You can't forget that birthday.
Nope. Can't.
That's what's up. Congrats, man.
Can't.
Yeah, I got to see him earlier. We got to figure out a name for that.
Yeah, he's my co-advisor. He's gonna be helping me out rest of the playoffs. So
there we go.
Had him just in time.
There we go.
Your good luck charm. There you go.
That's right.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Kev, how we been? We've been busy. What have we been doing?
Yeah, man. Just grinding, working. Just getting ready.
Still
to
in
come
the
up.
Swamps.
Still. Well, these days I'm in the truck, but that's okay.
Hey, the old pulling the foreman stance like your brother.
No, man. No, my hands are, by my side.
I know.
No, doing good, man. Just getting ready to come up to Michigan for the holidays, so getting ready to hang out with my family and all you clowns. So
nice. Yeah, I was gonna say doing a little bit of traveling coming up.
Of course.
That's what's up. Any
So
any diamonds in the future coming up soon or what? She don't ever watch this.
I got a couple watches I just bought. Yeah, they're not bad.
She ain't right there listening.
Priorities. Watches first.
Yeah, watches and bracelets. Oh yeah, you did actually just buy a new watch. What brand was that? I wasn't actually talking about that though, but
I bought a Belova and a Tissot. It's a Switzerland watch. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, okay. Like the TISSOT or whatever.
You got it. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up. I know you're coming up to Michigan. Any other travel plans?
Oh,
Blake,
shit,
anybody?
Man. Yeah, next year's gonna be crazy busy. Weddings, business travels, vacations. So I'm
nice.
gonna be out and about.
I don't got much here, G. I got a child. That's
be
it.
hunkered
Man.
down now for a while. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm tapped out to what?
At least 10 more years. No, I'm kidding.
Nah, it's a year maybe.
We're
That's what's
down.
up. That's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin will be going to Houston. We figured that out for my bachelor party in fucking April. That'll be tight.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll be coming down to you in Tampa here in like 3-4 weeks away.
Yeah, about a month for Gasparilla. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be sweet. That's exciting.
Are you dressing up for that, right?
Oh, dude, you think Danielle's gonna not let me dress up?
All right, good boy.
Come on, no. Even if I didn't want to, she would still be like, you have to. But
All right.
I want to just because it's tight in its own. Seems like it's gonna be tight in its own. I got a buddy that is in Clearwater actually, and he wants to meet up. I don't know how close that is or whatever. We'll figure it out. But should be a fun time coming down there. We're excited. Danielle's super excited.
Definitely. And it's a good time to get away from the winter blues a little bit.
Yeah, I played golf outside like 2 weeks ago.
Damn. No shit.
Dude, Cardwell called me today. today.
No
it was
way.
40 degrees and raining, and he calls me and he goes, "Yo, it's the last day of the season anywhere to play golf outside. Everybody's closing up after this. I got a tee time at 12:40 at somewhere out there in Livonia area. I forgot where." He's like, "Can you make it?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm working." Like,
right.
no, I can't.
And it's 40 degrees and raining out.
Dude,
I mean,
that's commitment. That's commitment, dude.
Dude, when I went 2 weeks ago, like it was fairly windy, but like it wasn't bad like at all. Like I'd totally do it again if it was like that. If it wasn't raining, I probably would have maybe taken him up on his offer if it was more around like 3 p.m. But
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's commitment to hit 100. That's commitment.
You can come down to Florida where it's 80 degrees today. 75.
Play some normal golf. Yeah, right. That's what's up. Well, good. Sounds like you both are doing great. Sounds like you both got a lot in store moving forward on your plate. It's exciting. Life sounds good. That's good. Now, time to get down to what everybody cares about when they come to this channel. That is the fantasy footballing. So, Kevin, since we're both here, we're gonna kind of take a back seat here originally. I guess maybe we can kind of review how you got here and stuff, but like I kind of want to, since Blake hasn't really given himself to or had a chance to get on the podcast yet, I want to semi kind of do like a normal episode with him, and then me and you can go into ours and talk about, and then I can talk about your previous stuff with that, and then we can kind of, you can chime in when I'm talking about his stuff, obviously, as well. But Blake, obviously, I want to get down to the last year. Well, this year, your strategy coming into it this year with the new keepers, the new IR thing, having 3 keepers. Let me know. I don't even know what your team name was last year, but this year, let me know what the Luth's strategy was going into the draft this year.
And what?
I've been switching the team name around quite a bit. It was Ship the Quan. And the Quan is money, for those that don't know. Ship the money, right? Ship the Quan. Right. So that hasn't worked. So I thought it was time for a reface, get a fresh look. So I changed it up a bit, and the Muth is back. So the Muth is Luth. He's on the team. He's on the squad. He's pulled me out a couple victories.
Oh, so. Is that a dig? That's my guy too. He's on my team. Is that a dig at sorry, you're not gonna see me for a second. At Mike Tyson kinda, or what?
No dig.
No Tyson gift digs at him?
No. There was nothing like that. I had I had the red hair man on my team. Still do Andy Dalton. I had the
whole Red Rocket.
The Red Rocket name.
Gotta love that.
That worked well. So no, I mean, look, the strategy was try to keep somebody that was consistent on my team, that or at least perceived to be consistent. And then I took a couple shots in the dark. And I shouldn't say complete shots in the dark. I actually thought Travis Etienne was going to be the number 1 to start the year, and that really blew up in my face when Robinson took the lead role. That was my game plan. Was if I had him, it really affected my early draft because I was counting on him. AJ Dillon was a shot in the dark. I had heard a lot of good things at camp, and
potentially
so
for next year being the number 1. Yeah.
It was like, okay, I got Aaron Jones, who, he could be kind of iffy, and Dillon showed a lot of promise. So I thought that was a good keep in I think it was the 11th round. And then Mike Evans is spotty, but he is consistently at 1,000 yards a season. And I thought he'd be a great number 2 guy because he could go off for 30. He could get me 10. But he was always getting 1,000 yards a season. I was like, that's
a good mix with Josh Allen and that consistency. Yeah, it's a good mix right there. And Keenan Allen's obviously consistent too. And I mean, he got hurt obviously. He's always down the road in the season, but
that affected me. I mean, the first week out of the year, who was I playing? Was I playing you, Kev? I think I was playing Kev here. First week out of the year.
Yeah, when he got hurt.
He got hurt, and what did I lose to by Kev? 1 point, and he got hurt in the first.
Yeah, you lost.
Lost by 1.5 points, and he got hurt in the first. So
don't worry, I'm getting there.
I just sat back. I was like, "Here we go. It's already started.
Here's that season."
Well, here's the season. So no, that was the early strategy. I mean, In the draft, I was just looking for value.
You lost by a point.
Yeah, I was looking for value early in the draft, and I didn't see anybody better than Josh Allen at my pick. So I rolled with it. I was shocked that I was shocked that people actually took Dalvin Cook so early. I thought he might make it to me at 6. I was. So, but Josh Allen was a clear cut for me. He was clear cut number 1 at that point. There's nobody else I would have taken.
Well, because a lot of people had all the other quarterbacks kept too, right?
It seemed that way. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get a good one on the way back around. And little did I know, can't remember if he was kept. I think you were talking about on the last podcast if Jalen Hurts was kept or not.
No, I could have kept him and I didn't.
So I
kept Kyler Murray.
That was probably the one.
See, actually,
I didn't take Allen. I would have taken him in the second.
I don't think I did. I think Eric messed up my keepers because I don't think I could have kept Kyler Murray and Justin Jefferson again last year.
I think you're right.
Yeah, he messed up my keepers because he's got Antonio Gibson as my keeper on here, and I kept Jamar Chase, and I didn't keep Kyler, but I kept Jamar Chase, and then I kept somebody else.
I like the way you're thinking. If we don't actually know, it's probably a bozo thing.
Right? The old clown show.
Yeah.
So tight. You're moving right along. You're looking. So I'm not actually going to go through each matchup for each week for you, what you were thinking. It looked like, okay, in the beginning of the season, you had a little bit of a slow start.
That's an understatement, man. I won one match, and it was against you, and it was a complete – you just bombed. I didn't even have a good week. Your team just bombed, dude. And I sat there, and I was like, maybe this is the momentum. And then the following week, I lost again. I was like, nope.
I had 79 points. That was week. So that was week 3. So that was still kind of early.
And then it followed up by, I want to say 2 or 3 more L's. I mean, I was like 1-5, I think, at one point. And again, early on, it was.
Oh yeah, there's another L by 3 points the next week.
Yeah. And if you check out those weeks, I lost because I had a player on my team score 0.
There's another loss by 5 points the next week. Dang.
Tyler Conklin scored 0. Richie James, who was the Giants wide receiver, scored 0. And he was their only weapon. And he scored 0. So I had a stream of bad luck. But I was put in that spot because Keenan Allen and Mike Evans both went down. My 1 and 2 wide receivers both went down.
Yeah.
Hey, Blake, how about when you beat me? You beat me by 1.5 points the next go around.
Hey man, it's the revenge.
It's funny how
Isn't that crazy how I beat him first week by 1.5, and then he comes back week 8, I think it was, or something I had down, that he comes back and beats me by 1.5. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you're talking about the revenge tour that I'm on, and you're talking about the strategy I'm implementing. Okay, which is it's a good strat.
So it leads me to so I just was at week 6. You were the biggest blowout of week 6. From Duncan to you. You were the biggest blowout that week.
Yep.
And then the next week you come back and you put up 176 points against Ass and TDs on week 7. And I believe this is where the revenge tour started because you came into the week against me last week with 6 or 7 wins in a row. So the later half of the season, what did you do? Did you trade? Did you pick people up? What happened?
I think what happened was that my team started to play out the way the draft was supposed to, where Etienne finally got the starting role, which was huge because I didn't have to constantly try to find a replacement to score 10 points, and it freed up space on the bench.
I'm doing that.
And now also remember, like Jameis Winston, my flex quarterback, who I was fully expecting to throw me with the New Orleans offense, Michael Thomas, with Olave, with Kamara. I was fully expecting 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions a game, but some consistency out of that guy. And after he got injured, then I'm stuck because there's no QBs keeping Dalton on my team and Jameis. So I lose the spot because it was tough to – all the news was, is it time for Jameis to come back yet? Is it time for him to come back yet? So I can't drop the guy and have no QBs and no running backs. And
I'd have scooped him up so long ago if you dropped.
Well, that's my point, right?
Just to sit on him in case he comes to that.
Dude, yeah.
Which that's a whole thing too.
They never let him back in.
The amount of quarterbacks that people can have on their team next year.
Etienne popped back in. Mike Evans stayed healthy. Christian Kirk was the real deal, like I thought he was going to be. Okay, and the team just finally started clicking. Now,
started meshing.
Because
I just fast forwarded a little bit from week 6 to week 9. You won 3. You won week 6. You won week 7, week 8, and 9. So that's 7, 8, and 9. You won 3 in a row. So now we're looking at week 10, which is only 4 weeks ago.
Tiger King had to beat up on Corey.
That's another one. His team fell apart. Yeah, his team fell apart.
I did not think there'd be anything better than beating Corey. But after all the smack talk he gave me for being last, it was every week. This guy was like, "Oh, how's last place taste, Blake?" I'm like, "Oh, tastes good."
It's funny. I was gonna say that because
you're
on this list. You're on this list as a bottom feeder majority of the time in the front half of the season. That the people that were on, I know we didn't get to have everybody on this year, but a lot of people were picking you to be a bottom feeder, and then all of a sudden the last few weeks, like your name's not on that list anymore.
Dude, my squad was good. I think I had a well put together squad. They just weren't,
They weren't putting it all together right at the same time.
Yeah, you got
a couple of Detroit Lions. That's what he's doing.
Yeah,
right, man.
Well, yeah, right.
Wins when it
matters.
Revenge
tour has begun. Made the playoffs, and there was a couple people talking some smack about why does Blake care about stuff? He ain't even making the playoffs. Ooh, wrong. Wrong.
Yeah, who?
Here we are, boys.
Right, and here we are having the week 15 podcast, I think.
That's it, man.
Playoff podcast,
the old playoff podcast. Yeah, there we go. Which leads me to the barn burner that you played last week there, Blake. Kyler Murray goes down third play.
Well,
Kenny Pickett goes down like first quarter.
You
have multiple guys put up single digits. It's like, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I need 12 points from Kyler Murray and Hunter Henry. I'm going to win. And I get 10.6. Oops.
Yeah, you weren't even part of the revenge tour. I had already taken you down earlier in the year. So it was the second part of my strategy was to play the second worst team every single week. And that worked out quite well.
Right.
Hey, you got to get lucky to make it.
Gotta love the Yahoo scheduling guys, right?
Well, and
or gals, whoever they are,
put on a show for us. KG and Ely, Grant and I were sweating because if
I saw Ely yesterday on Tuesday. I was telling him how puckered I was that night before texting Blake rapidly.
You got lucky because if you would have beat Kev, you would have been out.
Yeah, and he would have been in. I know.
Hey, just imagine scoring 194
and losing. Oops.
And if you look at all my matchups, almost everybody, but I think my kicker was all in red, which is funny because me is with #green.
Yeah, I was gonna say they wouldn't even have been in your lineup 2 years ago.
Right, exactly. I just played them because I was a lock, and I'm obviously just had to play my guys. But
yeah, duh.
Out of all that, my whole team.
So you weren't a lock yet, were you? Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's a tough one for Ely as well. But you know what? First year in the league, he doesn't get that right to get up there yet. He's got to growing pains, man. He's got to suffer a little bit.
He's got to suffer. We all did.
Hey, I was the bottom two the last 2 years. I mean,
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever done a playoff podcast with either of you guys in it before.
No, not yet. No.
Well,
I've
only done it 1 year, but I know, like I'm pretty sure it's a.
I was gonna say it's been a year.
Yeah, it's a reverse of
But it's a new thing for you guys to be in the playoffs, isn't it?
For the last couple of years, yeah.
I was a top dog. I got eliminated. I took first in like 3 years ago. I took first in the league and was eliminated first. I was part of
the number one curse.
Oops.
Yeah, I was cursed, man. That was it.
The number one curse, man.
Happened to me after I won last year.
Duncan's got it's never good to be number one.
Yeah, man.
Tight. All right. So this year has had a lot of ups and downs with a lot of new shit. We had a lot of rule changes in the offseason. There were also a lot of trades that went down this season. Are you guys a fan of how we do the trades? And would you either like to see anything change? And I also would like to hear a little bit of your guys' feedback on the trades that have already went down this season.
I'll go first. It's funny because normally I'm the one to do all the trades, right? Every year. So
and this year you didn't.
My goal, my thing this year was I'm not making a single trade.
Oh God, here we go.
I am doing nothing. And of course, because in
You're
years
in the
past,
playoffs.
I would always, I feel like I always got the short end of a deal on a trade. And of course, this year I got a bunch of bullshit trades sent to me that I decided obviously not going to go with. So my strategy,
which in years past you might have done because maybe you think those dudes,
100%,
those guys that they offer.
100%.
Okay. He's got better upside.
So my strategy this year was 0 trades. So I honestly didn't really follow what was going on too much behind that scene with trading because I just had a, no trade strategy.
So like when it says there's a pending transaction on your app and you look at it and you see it's a trade, do you actually look at it and like look at it and like, is this fair? Do you do that?
Sometimes. Yeah, I'll look at it. If it looks outrageously uneven, yeah, of course, you
Did any of the trades you looked at this year feel outrageously uneven?
Like, gosh, I can't remember. I know there was something towards the end of the season that seemed a little sketchy. That's all I remember.
Oh, what?
What?
I wasn't trying to set you up. I was just asking. You think something was sketchy?
Well, no, just like it was like an outrageous trade. Like, what was it? Why are you like? I know you know that. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't really following too much.
No, because I actually don't even know what trade you're referring to. I was just curious. Asking.
I'll pull it up. Just go on.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. Is it what? Something later in the year? Okay, there's Tony Pollard and Chris Olave for Jalen Waddle and DeAndre Swift. That's not shady.
Yeah, there was a trade that you knew that.
Remember, I think it got vetoed or can't. I don't know. There was something that happened towards the end of the year, but
no, it got to a point, Kev, where Eric was selling off his team for keepers for the following year, and I don't think it was Yeah, there was a trade.
Dameon Pierce and Justin Herbert for James Conner.
Yeah, there you go. That one, or whatever.
Or no,
no,
that's not it. I don't know what that is.
That didn't sound right.
Dameon Pierce. What is this? Oh, Dameon. Wait, yeah. What? Dameon Pierce for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, that
was it.
That's the one. Whoa, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's the only one that came across my head that I was like, okay.
So he traded that running back to get Herbert to keep Herbert next year?
No, he tried to keep Dameon Pierce. He got rid of Herbert to Rydog, or not to Rydog, to maybe Ryan. I don't remember.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm looking at it. Yes.
Because his plan was to keep Dameon Pierce as rookie back. I get why he did it, but it loaded up Ryan, who was weak at the QB spot.
Benefited of both.
Which again, hindsight, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to cause any type of stir up, but it was something to be like, hey, we know you're selling your team off, getting ready for next year, and we got a playoff contender to benefit.
See, and I can contest to that because the last couple of years finishing in last place, I feel like
that was a month ago to the day.
It still doesn't work out, so it doesn't really. At least not on my end yet.
So did we know? Eric was already out. 4 weeks ago, right? Interesting. Maybe we need to like. Interesting. We'll have to have a little committee conversation here, maybe. About something here in a little bit that's starting to brew up in the old cobwebs up here.
But look, hey, I like how Kevin does it because I do it similarly. Unless it seems like it's a completely egregious trade or somebody's pulling a fast one, I let the two teams should decide what's mutually beneficial for them.
For their own team. I'm not going to decide that. Exactly. I'm not going to decide that at all.
I rarely veto unless I think something shady's going down, like a little side combo.
Right.
A little Mike Malinchek $25 Busch Light deal going down. I got to call him.
Yeah, where's he at? Mike, your thoughts on your matchup?
Hey, best opponent is one that can't talk.
That's right.
Can't talk back.
That's right. That's awesome.
So, trades are fine.
No trades. There's no trades that I thought were.
That's what I mean. Already talked. Like this league has already talked about this for years on trades and everything, and it's like there's only one way to do it. Just let it fly. If both teams think that it's beneficial, then
what you do is cut. Or you cut the trade deadline earlier.
So that was my thinking of the whole with Eric being out selling off his team thing.
Right. You just cut the trade deadline a couple weeks earlier where everybody's still in it, so it makes you think a little more, and then you cut it off, and then it goes to the waiver wires, which that's a whole nother conversation that we can get into.
I like the way our waivers is. I think. I like how it goes through twice before Sunday, doesn't it? It goes through Wednesday, doesn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday and Sunday. Yeah.
Or super Saturday night, Sunday morning. Yeah. I like that. It's cool.
Keeping your waiver wire money and not blowing your load early in the season is kind of a, it just depends,
choice,
right? Yeah, it depends on how desperate you are. If you're not desperate, it pays you off in the end. If you are desperate,
I think it might have. That you say that, it's funny. It makes me think about my own team because I did that this year. I usually always do that. I try not to make any moves or make any trades or whatever, or whatever.
You're notorious for not doing that. Yeah.
I know. And I had a bunch of money and okay, yeah, cool. I got 3 quarterbacks on my team, two of which are fucking their brains moved. So it's Kyler Murray's gone. Justin Fields' knee was fucked up. And Kenny Pickett's brain got all fucked up. So it's I might need a quarterback potentially if I want to run another flex. So it's okay.
Well, I got all of them, Grant.
No, you don't, because I just picked up Baker. So it's
you're right. You're right. You got Baker.
Also, there's one more out there that I could pick up that could potentially be better than Hundley that you have.
Yeah, I'm in a tough spot. I don't know who to start at QB this week. I'll be honest. I'm in a complete dead zone.
Now I see. It's funny because right back after that comment I just said about picking up Baker, it's do I start him?
Well, that's
wait a second. Do I actually start this guy over Kenny Pickett or
Why would you pick him up?
Well, I don't know. He's playing Green Bay in Lambeau. I mean, I don't know.
I can't give you any advice.
It's a tough start, man.
He's playing loose.
Really bad offense.
He's playing loose. If he goes for 220 and 2 TDs, I'm going to kick myself if I don't start him. But if he goes for 100 yards and 3 picks and I do start him, I'm also going to kick myself.
I got Darnold, Huntley, and then I got the Red Rocket himself. And I don't know who to start right now. I'm stuck.
Yeah, I like having a team where I don't have to really make any decisions, man. You just put your
That's where I was last year, Kev.
Yeah.
It was plug and play.
You just let them play.
Yeah.
Don't want to expel too much brain power, okay?
That's the worst move I've ever had is not keeping Jalen Hurts last year.
That was a bad one. It happens. We all have them.
I know. I could have had Jalen Hurts, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson on the same team. Damn. Anyways, so moving forward with this whole season and how it's been with what we've done with the rule changes and what we've done, is there anything you would still like to see changed next year?
I don't like the 3 keep. Oh, sorry. No, I don't like the 3 keepers.
Whoa, that's hot soup. I love the 3 keepers. Why not? Why don't you like it?
I don't know. It makes the draft. It's just tougher with the draft and the earlier rounds. I guess it makes you. It's kind of, I'm in between. It's good and it's bad, I guess. I mean, for me, going into this year, my team last year I thought my keepers were gonna be no good, but I had no choice, kind of, just to pull them in. But
okay. Wait a second. I like that you say that about your keepers. So let's touch base real quick because this is also your first podcast of this year because you guys are fucking busy as shit forever. What was your strategy going into the draft?
Honestly,
with your keepers
this year for me, because looking at my roster from last year, was I just wanted to be wide receiver heavy. That was my strategy this year. NFL's changing to a run and gun, throw, sling it type league. I mean, yes, I did keep Amari Cooper, he's on a team that runs the ball majority of the time, but
he's their best wideout though.
He's still Amari Cooper, right? Devontae Smith, obviously, that team is run and gun. And then I kept.
That was a very valuable keeper, right? If you keep him again, he's your first round pick next year.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yes. I have a thought on that though, G. So I wanted to impose a rule, okay?
Ooh,
so you can write this one down. Because look, we're just talking about a trade deadline having to be moved earlier because of this keeper deal. So I agree with Kevin that.
Wait a second. We didn't say that hold on, before you go, sorry to cut you off. We didn't say that the trade deadline needed to be moved up because of the keeper thing.
Well, yeah, we did.
Oh, because of okay,
Yes,
yeah. Okay, you're right. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah.
Blake,
so
sorry, start over.
I agree with Kev that I like having a bigger pool of players to choose from. So I would prefer 2 over 3 keepers personally.
Yep.
But what I'd like is that if you choose a keeper, again, 2 in a row, it's your first pick. But if you keep somebody for the first time, I want it to be 1 round earlier than what you drafted them at, because it makes you think a little bit differently. Because you're keeping them for a reason.
When we do that with moving them to the first round, that makes you think even harder.
But that's
if you want to keep them 2 years in a
row.
Right.
I'm talking about if this is your first time keeping them and you pick them up in the 5th, next year you keep them in the 4th, because you're keeping him because you think he's a little bit more valuable, and you should have to make a decision that way.
Okay,
it's a little tough. You need to text the committee that thing.
I see what you're brewing up.
Sorry, I just gave away who's in it.
Yep. Write that one down.
But we're on the same page. I think 3 keepers is a bit. I think it's too much.
See, okay.
My thought on this, or 3 keepers is fine, but you do have to move the trade deadline up again for Blake's reasoning.
Yeah,
that was actually a great point, is because you can start throwing your team for next year, and 1 player over 2 to 3 in fantasy is a massive difference.
I agree. One of the 2 needs to happen.
One of the 2, yeah. You can't have it both, because you're going to continue to have guys that will just pretty much throw their teams for.
Why it needs to be a dynasty league.
Well,
then you can't just blow it. You can't just blow it.
That's a whole different deal.
We have the same people every year.
Put your money up, right? Yeah, but if you want to pay for them.
No, I'm saying build your
I know.
Have literally everybody be keepers except for who you don't want to keep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make the selection of who I don't want to keep on my team. Who do I got to end the team with, and who do I got on my team to end the season with that's going to go on to my team the next season? Who's not going to go on my team the next season? I feel like if we did that and we just drafted rookies, obviously we changed the keeper rules because it would be
a league though too, but yeah.
I know. I like this, but I think we could do it, and I think it would be a lot more fun for all of us, and I don't think we'd have this conversation every year of changing rules and keepers and blah, 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 because we'd be drafting just rookies and we'd have our team.
Isn't that what makes the Bozo League fun, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Isn't that why the Bozo League
aren't we always trying to progress and be better?
I mean,
we're only progressing to pay more.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We're just
true. That's what I mean. So if you make it a dynasty, we could just up the ante with keeping say you keep 13 of 15 players, dude.
All right, well, you got
400 smackers.
All right, but then you got to pay for those guys. You put a value on your team, so it might be.
Then you
might be putting 1,000 up for your team.
I don't know about that, but
you get what I'm saying, though. If your team is that valuable, you got to put. I've never.
Well, because we don't even do an auction draft at all, so it's there's so many other things out there that we don't do.
To TikTok guys for draft advice and just keep blowing loading last.
Yeah, what place did he get? We should do a video and try to tag that guy in it with his advice with the screenshot of where Eric's standings are at the end of the season.
Yeah. We should do a time lapse. Hey, we should do a time lapse from from when he started.
Dude, we could do that.
This is my new strategy to now.
It would literally be like the Lord's draft strategy, part 1. And then it would be boom. And then it would say, I did this with this dude. And it would, and then it would be the first 4 weeks of the season. Next 4 weeks of the season. Next 4 weeks of the season.
Jumping out of a plane with
last 4 weeks.
Right. Yeah. Jumping out of a plane with no parachute. That's right.
Oh, man.
Hey, the other thing we got to change, though, is we need to reduce the IR spot from 2 to 1.
Agreed too, 100%. Because that's another.
Yeah, COVID's not a thing anymore, so it's
and that's another thing.
We implemented that because of the COVID / fucking weird stuff, but yeah.
Agreed, 100%. 2 IRs is dumb.
But if we take it down to 1,
again, it just makes it tough.
If we take it down to 1, there should be a thing where I don't know. I guess it would have to be voted on, where you could implement the whole out thing. If somebody's out for 4 weeks, but they're not on the IR, and you don't have anybody on the IR, you could potentially put that guy there.
Hey, you're either on the IR or you're not, man.
Thank you, Kev. IR stands for something.
That makes.
Well, no, I'm just saying because if the guy's out for those 4 weeks, the team is taking that 4 weeks to see if he can come back or not. If he can, they'll bring him back, and then you take him out. But then if they can't, then he's IR eligible. Those 4 weeks, you shouldn't be punished.
Hey, you got Fab. That team, that NFL team has to make a decision. They have to
that
make
guy
a
for
decision.
4 weeks.
Pick up his backup.
Which they do.
Pick up his backup.
Well, no, I would. That's what I'm saying. I would if I could put that guy in my IR spot. He's going to be out for potentially 10 weeks, but he's out for 4 weeks.
Well, I'd
pick up the backup in a heartbeat.
Don't keep 4 quarterbacks on your roster all year.
I don't have 4 quarterbacks all year, so I'm good.
It makes you make a tough decision, which is the point.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Which I like. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Challenging.
NFL teams have to make
it makes
the
you
same
think.
Call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
IR means IR, man. It's that simple. And
I like it.
I'm in. If we vote on it and we want to do IR out, I'm good. But I think IR means IR. It's pretty simple, straightforward.
Yeah. Same. But again, though, I don't know with all the.
If you have a player out, you are supposed to make a tough choice.
With all the keepers and shit, it's like I shouldn't. I don't know. People shouldn't have to drop someone that's keeper worthy because they're out for 4 weeks and potentially not on the IR yet.
You're talking about a very isolated incident.
I'm just saying. I'm just talking about in general. That happens all the time. That happens all the time.
That happened to your one boy Jamar Chase, and that didn't happen much.
Oh, I'm not. No, because I would never drop him ever.
So that's my point. You have to make a tough call. If you would have to
make a tough call in that. I didn't have to make a tough call at all. I knew who was going on that spot. If I only got one spot, I knew who it was. That ain't tough.
My point is, if you
had to,
spot,
yeah,
if you had to, because
it was going to be him. Duh.
That's my point, though. You'd have to drop somebody else.
Right, which at the time would have probably been pretty easy.
What if Kyler Murray and Jamar Chase are both on the IR at the same time? What do you do with one spot, right? You got to drop another.
I keep one on my bench.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
and then I drop some bum that doesn't play anyways on my team. So it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the point.
Because we have 4 bench spots, so that leads into another thing that's brought up. Should we reduce the bench spots to 3? It's not a hard decision. When you have to make a decision, it's not a hard decision. Normally.
Okay. Well, I got you.
Yeah.
At least for me. That's why I don't ever make look at how many moves I make. I don't make any.
You know my stance. IR means IR. It doesn't mean out.
I agree.
I don't care how
I'm
Yahoo
down.
setting is. The NFL has an IR spot for a reason. So does fantasy. It's easy.
Yep.
Right.
I'm just talking for the others out there.
Okay.
Well, let them be in the playoff spots, and they can talk for themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, this is their time to shine. Come on the whip. Come say hello. But nobody wants to come sit in the circus tent this year. Nobody watches. They don't know. When they're on, all of a sudden I hit them up on Tuesday and they're like, "Oh, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, when you want to do the podcast?" I'm like, "Oh, I can't this whole week." And I'm like, "This whole week you don't have an hour?" Well, okay, whatever. On to the next.
Sorry.
So, that's what it is. So here we are. So, the predictions, obviously for the playoffs, are no longer because here we are. You guys are in it. I'm in it. Mike's in it. Duncan,
win it, baby.
Dog, they're in it. But I do want to get your predictions for how you think everybody's gonna finish from 6-1, I guess.
Matchups from this week to next week, right?
I guess, yeah. Who do you think's gonna win this week? I guess that's all we really know. And I'm gonna start with Blake because he's on my sheet as the next person because I called him to be on this podcast next, but we couldn't do it. So, Blake.
So I think I'm gonna end up beating Mike, but I do think it's gonna heavily come down to what's about to take place in about 15 minutes with his boy Christian McCaffrey. I think if that guy's gonna come in and score 3 or 4 touchdowns, it's gonna be a tough go. But if he can be held short, I think this is gonna be a big game. And I'm kind of glad it's happening on a Thursday because it will help me decide on my QB spot or not. Because if he ends up having a big game, I'm probably going to start Huntley and hope for a tear off and not start Dalton. But I think I can count on Dalton for 2 touchdowns and 200 yards against Atlanta.
That's why I would see. I'm not giving you advice either because I'm whatever. But if I was you, I'd be playing Dalton. I feel like.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough with the taste.
It's a tough decision though, because
you know,
I mean they're all
much, but he can get touchdowns pretty quick.
All right, now
between you two, we got a good matchup between you guys. We got a good matchup. I mean,
the revenge tour.
It's probably going to come down, just looking at these squads here, it's probably going to come down to quarterback play, I feel like, because Justin Fields against Philly, that's a tough defense. Prescott has a good matchup against Jacksonville.
He's thrown 2 picks in the last 4 games straight.
But Gino's hitting up San Fran tonight, which is tough.
He's going to get 5.
And so I bet you it's decided if Gino can actually hold true to his predictions, I think Kev's going to take the W.
Oh, shit.
If he gets shut down by San Fran, I think Grant's going to take the W. So I'm gonna lock it in. Sorry, G. I'm going to take KG in the kitchen for this matchup this week.
Ooh, revenge tour, baby. Revenge tour.
Damn, I almost put that in all caps on accident. I was that mad.
Sorry.
No hard feelings. No hard feelings. I mean, my team is kind of falling apart right now.
So
you're tough at running back. If Jarek McKinnon,
I don't know what to do.
Doesn't have a good week, he's in trouble. You know.
I don't know what to do at running back though, because I have 3.
Do what you've been doing all year. Just rely on your wide receivers to put up 30 points each.
Well, it's funny, Blake. It's funny that you say that, because when I was on the podcast, when Ely hosted it for my session, I hadn't had them put 30 up on the same week ever, the whole season. And I lost.
Rip.
Hey.
Rip.
You gotta live lucky.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, what is that from, Kevin? I've heard you say that before.
Yeah, it's from you. Yeah, it's a golf brand. You get it at.
Okay.
Yeah, we had my brother and I. We both have Live Lucky hats. But no. So I'm gonna give my prediction on the playoffs this week, and I am going to go with Blake's team beating Mike's team for the simple fact, again, for what Blake said with our matchup is quarterback play. I think Deshaun Watson, his projection is way too high against Baltimore. I don't think that guy's ready yet. I think his season, he's just in because they need him to play. And then Matt Ryan.
I don't think they did though. Jacoby Brissett was fine. I felt like
that's what I'm saying. They put him in because they paid him.
They're playing. Yeah, there you go. They're playing him because they paid him.
They're playing him because they paid him, and
no one's going to take on that contract.
Yeah, I just like Blake's overall team a lot better. Patty French Fries come through with a touchdown.
It's my guy, dude.
Lock that up. Anytime TD, Patty French Fries. Throw that on the
Patty French Fries. Oh, you said lock that up. Hey,
that's a side bet though. That's a side bet.
A little foreshadowing, huh?
So I see Blake kind of actually running away from Mike in this round. I know the prediction's 50-50, but I think
runaway.
Yeah, I think Blake wins
by
15-20. He wins by. That's my prediction.
Wow, that's a fat prediction. You heard that here first at the hashtag I'm the Bozo Sportsbook. Blake minus 15.5.
And then to our matchup, I mean, again, I think it is going to come back down to quarterback play. I did get extremely lucky last week with Kyler Murray blowing his ACL out. What was it? 3rd play of the game. So, my team's, I feel like, been a little bit more consistent this year than yours, and I'm gonna ride the wave of revenge tour that you've been saying all podcasts. So. You got me earlier in the season. Now it's my time to wax you when it matters.
Ew, the old waxy cap.
That's right, baby.
Okay, so we have a full sweep. Mike, here we go. Looks like we're chopped liver.
That's right.
We'll see. We'll see who's on the podcast next week. I guess I'll still be here regardless if I win or not.
That's right. Yeah, you will be for sure. Let's see if
it's going to be one bitter podcast.
I mean, no.
Grant,
whatever.
We could do it live next week from your house if I make it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we could.
That's right.
I got a tough decision to make on who to play.
Oh, here we're talking about what's your predictions?
Well, I just was like, oh, let me see if I can look at anything. I mean, I got Cam Akers or Antonio Gibson or Chris Godwin or Michael Gallup or DJ Moore, or do I play Isaiah McKenzie in Buffalo, but it's supposed to snow? Nah. Do I play Baker against versus Kenny Pickett? Probably, because Kenny Pickett's one tackle away from being taken out of the game again. So it's like, I know.
He's not even going to play. They're not even going to let the guy play.
Who?
Kenny Pickett.
I mean, he was limited in practice today.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make that change.
Well, if you're questioning yourself, good luck to you.
No, I mean, I'm not.
My lineup's been set since last 2 weeks ago.
Good. Hope somebody breaks their knee in practice tomorrow.
Well, then I have backup. That's why I've got a deep bench this year. So I'm good. That's why I went wide receiver heavy. So hopefully it's a wide receiver.
Okay, so obviously we, for the most part, all of us are in Michigan. Kevin, I know you're in Florida. But we are allowed to gamble on sports here in the great mitten state of Michigan. And I know we all dabble. Blake, let me get your hashtag. I'm with Bozo lock of the week.
Yeah, let me bring this up one more time. I'm gonna end up taking the Titans, Tennessee Titans versus the Chargers away. Titans +3 against the Chargers. I actually think it's going to be a high scoring affair, but I think Tennessee. Both teams have something to play for, but I think Tennessee is the better team.
Wow.
All right. Well, with that being said,
you don't like that young Chargers defense, huh?
That goes into my lock of the week because it seems like Blake and I might need to set a little friendly bet on the side.
You're taking San Diego.
I wrote this down earlier at my lock of the week.
Los Angeles.
Oh, you can't see it. San Diego minus 2.5 is the line I saw. That's my lock of the week.
Sorry, they're not San Diego anymore. They moved to LA
or
5
LA,
years ago.
Sorry, geez, okay.
So you got them at -2.5. I got them at +3.
LaDainian Tomlinson's coming back. Don't worry.
So you took the Chargers -2.5?
That's the line that I saw before I came on the podcast.
And you got Tennessee +3, Blake.
Yep.
Yeah. Just different betting sites.
Let's just say +3 -3. It's the same. It is.
No. I'm locking you in at -2.5, even though it's
okay. Perfect. Good.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. Is that a first? Is that a podcast first
where they went against each other? I would have to look at.
I guess this is only playoff edition where there's multiples of us.
I would have to look at.
Yeah, there's only multiples of us on this one. So
on the playoff one from last year, I'd have to look and see if there was any multiples last year.
How ironic! We were both on the same game, but opposite teams. We have all those choices. That's pretty good.
So, for those that are following along at home, I am still in the playoffs. So my hashtag I'm with Bozo lock of the week.
Ooh. Well, I'm locking this one up.
It's a tough one. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I'm going to be a fucking homer here, and I'm going to take the Lions +1.5. Ballsy. Even though I think they can win outright. I might even – I should take a money line because it's +1. I'm not. I'm going to take the point because it's 1.5, just because.
All right, you're going with
they've been playing some motivational football the last few weeks.
Okay.
If they can put up what they have been on offense against the Jets, they'll win the game. But if the Jets defense is actually the real deal and stops them, I think the Jets are going to end up winning it. Unfortunately, I want the Lions to win. I'm hopeful, but
I think it's going to be a tough game for the boys this week, but that's my opinion.
In New York, isn't it snowing in New York, you said? Or am I mistaken? I don't know where the Jets play, honestly.
They play in New Jersey, actually, at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. East Rutherford, New Jersey. No, it's not a dome. It's outside. But it doesn't look like, looking at Jamal Williams here, it doesn't look like any snow projected. It looks like just cloudy, overcast. Partly cloudy with a high of 38 degrees.
Yeah.
Perfect running the football touchdown weather for Jamal Williams.
Is Mike White playing? Is Mike White playing?
I don't think they've announced.
Yes, Mike White is playing. Yes,
he is.
Yes, at least the recent. That's what I heard.
I know they said they wanted him to, a couple days ago.
And Zach Wilson just got moved up to backup, so he's no longer the third string.
Oh boy.
So I think Zach's gonna see some action in that game. I think the Lions can knock him out, but like you said, the defense is gonna be the deciding factor.
Isn't it crazy that? So I mean,
and Lions defense has been playing good the last like 3-4 weeks.
So and I think so. We fired our DB coach like 5 or like 6, maybe 7 weeks ago. And I only know this because I listen to 97.1 in the morning from 6 a.m. until 6:50 a.m. when I drive to work every day. And they talk about the Lions from that time every day. And it's crazy how when they got rid of one coach and they brought somebody else in, the DBs, a.k.a. also Jeff Okudah and Kirby Joseph and all these dudes, are playing tremendously different football.
Isn't it crazy?
Insane. They get one person in that tells them something, one thing different or something a little different than what the other dude was telling them, and it's like it's a trigger for their like unlockingness of their potential.
That's what they said the locker room was like. They said it's just the atmosphere,
I watched a thing that was like a it was like a mashup celebration of their last 5 wins in a row before their last game, and everybody was walking in the locker room like and it's just like watching them, it just feels a little different than it does normally.
Lions fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a true Lions fan. Yes, everybody knows my Steelers are also my second favorite team, but like, I mean, yeah, like okay, the last like 6-7 weeks have been a little different. The first 6 weeks, like it was SOL. It was SOL. And then like they are starting to make decisions that are different than the customary SOL tradition, and it's paying off.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, G. I'm with you. I hope
Same. I'm excited.
Kick it off strong.
I think you sold me on your lock now. Yeah.
That was the point.
Yeah, I move sides real quick, man. You got
That's crazy. You guys got the opposite lock.
It's funny when he said that because I was like, that wasn't scripted. That shit was not planned. It was literally, I had it written down. I ripped it off. Like, I wrote that down.
What do I get, 1.5 points? Yeah.
And the funny thing is I put San Diego Chargers.
So I actually did too. That's funny. I just switched it. That's funny.
See?
All right. So last but not least, I mean, it's only right that I don't know how we could do the whole bottom feeder thing. I was going to say, Blake, I was going to try to let you get I was going to try to let Blake get some revenge because he was bottom feeder the first 5 weeks.
What about me the last 2 years? What the fuck?
Well,
damn.
I mean,
whatever. Let me get my revenge too. Shit.
You guys call out your 3 bottom feeders, even though, whatever, they're probably already there. But, yeah.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not.
Kevin, you go first.
All right, cool. All right. Well, my number 1 bottom feeder obviously is Corey because Corey he's literally on the bottom and he's sucking his way all the way to the top. Well, so he thinks. So that's the easy one, which leads me into my next bottom feeder is Easy. He is the champ last year. He is my boy. I love him. He's done well, but you know what? Lowest points scored this year, and he won last year. Big disappointment. 3 keepers. The lowest points for himself. I think he's the St. Louis Rams.
I think wins
the Super Bowl. Wins the Super Bowl.
He fell victim to your strategy normally. Your normal strategy.
No. He fell victim against my strategy because normally I'm the one that I'm very, very nice with trades and everything.
He was, though. He was trading everybody, I felt like, this year.
This year, right. So I know he didn't finish 11th place, but to be the champ and then the score.
Well, it hasn't been figured out yet. They got the toilet bowl still.
Well, I'm talking regular season. That's how the bottom feeder is considered every year. Because if we did the toilet bowl every year previously, I actually would not have finished last place. But that's okay.
True.
And then third and final, obviously the commissioner, the Lord, the bozo, the TikTok guy. The guy spends money. He walks into the draft all. His. He grew a couple inches down there, and now he walks out. Now he walks out a little short and stubby guy. He's just hanging out. Getting ready for the party. That's what he does best.
Lucky he's not buying beer.
Well,
for the draft party.
That's okay.
Yeah, he's lucky.
So those are my bottom 3 for the season.
All right. Blockhead.
I get no more pleasure than saying Corey's name for dead last. Makes me so happy from all the smack talk of him putting me last and telling me I'm going to be last. And my team's garbage. And I think he's making a mistake. He wants to get a keg for this party. If he gets a keg, he's going to be at it a bunch because I'm going to keep ordering those drinks for him to keep bringing them.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about this.
He's going to get fatigued, Kevin.
That's
he's going to get fatigued. Pumping, pouring beers for me. So, Corey, dead last.
Yeah, not a smart idea to get a keg if you're the old.
That's another reason why I'm coming up to the end of the year party, so I can get my service back from the last couple of years.
Yeah, so we got had some service in there recently.
So we got Corey dead last, and then I'm going to follow suit a little bit with Kev. I got Easy at second to last.
Sheesh.
And look, I'm putting Easy second to last because that guy's been my kryptonite like for 5 years. Like he could have a terrible team and somehow still pull out a win. And your boy got the revenge on him. I believe him losing a couple games, one of them being to me that he probably thought he had in the bag. Cost him the playoffs. And so I like that he's going to be number 2 next to Corey. They can, they can pump that beer together. Maybe Corey needs some assistance from Easy over there.
Right.
So
there you go.
Nice.
I don't mind saying his name. And then this last one, I actually think they had an okay team, but I think he got a little scared of some trades, and that's Cuddy Sark. I'm putting Cuddy Sark.
I typed it before you said it. Yeah, I typed it before you said it.
Cuddy Sark seems to have good teams, but he gets emotionally attached to his players, and he rides the highs and then right into the lows, and then he's like, well, they were good. It's like, dude, trade them at a high, and he never trades them to try to take a chance, and that's I think that's cost him this year.
I can feel him for that, though. I'm the same way. I do feel me and him are a lot of the same boat with that on that aspect of like I drafted my team for my team to be set up to do the best and win based on my knowledge, which Blake, I think you can kind of relate to because you didn't really make too many trades this year. Obviously, I don't think you made any.
No, I tried.
So you talked about you did send me some offers too, but you talked about how your team that you drafted finally did what they needed to do, getting you to where you are now, which you can't fault Sarko for falling to that same philosophy. Look, if he thought his team was the best when he drafted it, and when it's going forward, like they did do good in the beginning, but there's he just played some good teams on their best weeks. Like a lot could have been going on into it.
He had value he could have capitalized on. One of the challenges for me on trading was when you start at the bottom, people throw you some pretty shady, bad trade. Not shady.
Yeah, because they want your best players for their worst.
So I couldn't get. I mean, Kev, you offered me a trade. It was downright trash.
We should start screenshotting them. We should start
That's
screenshotting
right.
them.
Exactly, Grant. Exactly.
I'm gonna.
I don't blame you for
be wary sending me trades next year's boy. I'm screenshotting that shit and sending it to everybody.
I got a picture for everything, baby. Come on.
He does too.
Oh, God. Guys, every
all right.
In the book. Yeah, so those are my 3.
Well, that's what's up. I appreciate you guys taking some time out of obviously your very busy lives to sit down, converse fantasy football with me, talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing moving forward, where we were at from where we were. I would say it's the part of the show where we get to call out the next week's guests, but for one, it doesn't matter because it's the playoffs and only half the league is in it. 2, nobody even checks it to even care. So, with that, boys, again, I appreciate the time. I look forward to seeing you next week, Blake.
Not you, Kev.
Hey, it's time to pass. I mean, you've done all right the last couple of years.
Okay, dude, I went from bringing beers to Ship and Dottie Peps, and
Yeah,
then I
so now
got
it's my
and then I
turn.
got third.
So
Then I
what are you
got third
saying?
last year on some BS run by your, which doesn't even count because it was BS. And then I don't know what would have happened if I would have made the championship because I didn't look at it. But no, man,
You just wrote my script.
I need to stay in the top.
You literally just wrote my script. I've been feeding beers the last 2 years. Now I'm trying to make my way to the top. So that's right. It's my time.
Yeah.
It's my time. It's my time.
It's funny because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is going to jinx you or not. I hope it does. But when I won, I think I had third place in the finishing season. I didn't have the bye, and I came in and I went and won.
I mean, look at
being
last
in third
week.
place.
Put up 198 season high.
So if that's how it happens and it's in your favor, sweet. I hope it's not, because that means I'll beat you this week.
All right, we'll see.
But boys, thank you.
It'll be a good match.
Appreciate it. Blake, have fun with Archer.
Yeah, hopefully you don't get too many explosions.
Yeah,
get that
arm
across the room.
That's right. Oh, it's crazy. I know. You better watch out. Round 2's coming.
It's coming.
Dude. Yep, for sure.
Shit,
thanks for having us.
Right there behind them.
Hey, we got some time. Boys, we'll be in touch. I appreciate it.
All right, I'll
Later,
see you
guys.
guys in a few days.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.